So we're going to learn how to create custom invoices. So what we do in QuickBooks for creating invoices is we're going to Customers and Create Invoices. Now we create our invoices here, but we also customize our invoices. So whenever you are in the main menu here, you are just filling in whatever invoice is showing. If you are in formatting, you see you have different items here, and so you can change things about the invoice. So one thing that you'll want to notice is the template that you're using when you're making your invoice. So the ones that are set up automatically or set up by QuickBooks are the packing slip. See how it says packing slip here, and it changes with each one, so you have different items in the packing slip. You have a product invoice, which is the one we're going to customize for Amazon because we're selling products. The professional invoice, I believe you would use for, say, your accountant or a lawyer or something of that nature, and you were doing some work there instead of selling products, and the same way with the service. So you can choose whichever format you like, but they really have the product invoice as the one that is recommended to use. Then we're going to go to Manage Templates, and you see these are repeated here. So what we'll do is choose the invoice type that we thought was the closest to what we needed, and here I'm going to choose the product invoice, and I'm going to copy it. QuickBooks doesn't let you really change these because they want to sell you envelopes and forms and things so that they can be used together, and if you change these they won't work together. So you are free to change them, but you have to change them in your own invoice. So what we'll call this one is Amazon FBA, and you can change the invoice to match your website or to match eBay if you're using eBay, or Amazon FBA, or use the same one for all of them. Okay, and then we're going to tell it OK. So now it has saved that as a template. So Amazon FBA. Now if you have a logo, you could use it here. You would just go in and find your logo on your computer. For Amazon FBA, since I don't send any invoices out, I don't use that, but I just want you to know where it is. You can change the colors. So right now it's black. You can, play around with it if you just want to make your colors different for yourself. Or change font for title, which is the invoice up here. So you can change the font if you want to make it look different, because it's binding it, so you can change if you want things to look different. Say you wanted it to be fancy. You see how it changed it. Okay, and then you go for a company name. This was up here. The company address, labels. These would be labels for these places in here. Okay, so all of those are to change the font or the look of the type on your invoice. And you can use these invoices and this instruction for other invoices maybe you're going to mail out. So here it says the company and transaction information. So the company name, see how it's ticked here? So it's showing up here, but if I untick it, it's going to tell me that over and over to reposition the overlapping fields or whatever. It's going to ask me this over and over, or I can say do not display this message any further, and I'll tell it that in a few minutes, but I wanted you to see that it's there. and see how it took out the company name because I unticked the box. So I'm going to tick it back. And of course there's the message again. And then you can see the company address. If you have a fax number, a phone number, a web address, email address, any of that information that you want to appear on your printed invoice, or even on your, your invoice that's in the computer, you can do that. Print status stamp. So this would be like, is it paid? It would have, when it's paid, it'll have a, looks like a stamp across here in bigger letters, says paid or pending or received. So that's the basic information. But now we want to go to the additional customization because we need to add some stuff and take out some stuff so it's not so garbled in here. And it tells you you have the screen or the print or both. If it's ticked in the box, then it's gonna affect the screen or the print. And if you don't care about one or the other, you can untick it or you can just leave it. Okay, so the title is invoice. You could change it to something else. If you didn't want it to say invoice, you could say something else. The date is there, so you'll probably want to have the date, and the invoice number is showing there. Your bill to, this is where Amazon's going to go, but the ship to, this is probably the most important one, and I'm going to undo this now so we don't keep seeing it. And the ship to on the print. Okay, so the ship to is the customer that's buying it through Amazon, and we want to have that information because with that information we can run reports. So this is something we really need to have. Now we probably aren't going to have a PO number. We're probably not going to have terms, not on Amazon, and we can probably leave off the project. So it takes out a bunch of the stuff that, can be just overwhelming sometimes. Now, the columns are what's going to show up here. So the description, the quantity, the rate, and the amount. So depending on how you want it to look and what information you want to put in each time, then you can tell it that. So I like to put my quantity in first. So I'm going to put 1 here. And then I like to have my item 2, my description, and really the rate is the amount. Okay, so we could put item price here. Okay, and then the amount is showing there. So if you had a quantity of 1 and the item price is the 1 price, then it's going to show here 1. But if you had a quantity of 2 and the item price, then it would be multiplied by 2 here, and then it would show your information down here. You could, if you wanted, you could add this information in that is from your custom fields. So if you did that, you can see the ASIN falls in there, the referral fee goes in there, the pick and pack, and you could see these things then on your tickets if you wanted to see them, or your invoices. But I run a report that shows all this information, so I typically just leave that off. It's going to keep telling me that about the print overlapping and that kind of thing, and they're real big on their forms. Okay, so this is probably all I would do for my invoice for Amazon. I did just want you to see how much customization you could do, and if you're using it for your website sales or other sales, then you could go in and do some more customization. In fact, I would probably take off like payments, because when Amazon pays, they pay the full amount, and so I would take that out. then you could just leave these in here. Actually, I would probably take out the balance due because, or the total, either way, because it's going to be the same amount and you just don't need a bunch of stuff stuck on there. So that's pretty much the basic things that you need for your invoices. And then click OK. So now you're done with that, and we're done with this video.